Is Librela really a miracle drug? Or are we only seeing part of the story? Because when you compare official side effect data from Australia, the UK, and the United States, something doesn't quite add up. And what's being reported in one country isn't always being clearly emphasized in another. Librela, or Beransa in Australia, is a monoclonal antibody injection designed to relieve osteoarthritis pain in dogs. It's often described as groundbreaking, safe, even life-changing, but no medication is without risk. So instead of relying on marketing language, I'm going to look directly at the data, side effects reported across 3 major regions, and let the evidence speak for itself. Common but dismissed. Let's start with what's often considered mild. Across Australia and the UK, injection site swelling is listed as uncommon. In the EU, it's simply reported. Increased drinking and urination? Rare in Australia and the UK, but again reported in the US. Vomiting and diarrhea follow the same pattern. These may sound minor, but they are still signs that the body is reacting. Neurological red flags. Now, this is where things become more serious. Balance problems, also called ataxia, are listed as rare in Australia and the UK. In the US, they're described more plainly. Trouble walking. Weakness, very rare in Australia. Very rare or listed as paresis in the UK, but in the USA, trouble standing. Paralysis, not even listed in Australia. Very rare in the UK, yet clearly reported in the US. And seizures categorized as very rare in Australia and the UK are also reported in the US. These are not minor symptoms. These are life-altering neurological events, behavioral and systemic changes. Australia goes a step further by listing behavioral changes as very rare, things like distress, agitation, confusion, disorientation. But interestingly, these are not specifically listed in the UK or US summaries. Does that mean they don't happen? Or that they're categorized differently? Either way, they exist in the data. Immune system risks. This is one of the most overlooked areas. Very rare but serious immune-related conditions are acknowledged. In the UK, these include immune-mediated hemolytic, anemia, polyarthritis, thrombocytopenia. In the U.S., immune-related disorders are also mentioned. These conditions can affect red blood cells, platelets, joint systems, and while labeled very rare, they are medically significant. Additional U.S. reporting. The United States data introduces even more reported issues that aren't formally listed elsewhere. These include skin problems like dermatitis and cysts, histiocytomas, elevated kidney, markers such as BUN, musculoskeletal issues like lameness, and most notably, deaths including euthanasia associated with adverse events. These outcomes are not listed in Australia or UK summaries, but they are documented in US reporting systems. What rare really means? Here's the key point. Rare does not mean impossible. And when the same categories of adverse effects appear across multiple countries, especially serious, neurological, and immune-related ones, it raises important questions, not about whether Librela works, but about how completely its risks are communicated. Librela may provide relief for some dogs. It's an illusion, and ridiculous statements like, "It gave us our dog back," proves no research has been done. Instead, they opted for blind faith. But calling it a miracle drug ignores the full scope of reported side effects, from mild gastrointestinal issues to neurological impairment to immune-mediated disease to death. The data shows this is a powerful drug, not a risk-free one. And responsible decisions require complete information, not selective reassurance. If your dog is on Librela or you're considering it, stay informed, monitor closely, and have an open conversation with your vet. Because when it comes to your dog's health, clarity matters more than hype. And if you are still listening to vets telling you to ignore online real-life experiences, ask yourselves, why are vets telling you this when they already know the dangers to Librela and Silencia? Please sign Shadow's petition to get these drugs banned. https://chng.it/v8tjfy xv7r